Hello guys, welcome once again to this video. As I promised you all, today I don't know, but I'm just going to record back to back. Be prepared for me. I have with me here my sister. She's also a nurse. She's been in Ireland for over 5 years. Okay, she has some opportunities she also wants to share with us, and she's actually gone through a lot. I believe that me recording a video with her will also inspire you back. Okay, so welcome my sister. Kindly introduce yourself to us.
Okay. Thank you so much,
Nesmomo.
Yeah, for giving me this opportunity. I'm happy to share.
Yeah.
So my name is Catherine. Great.
Okay.
I'm a nurse, she said, and I've been in Ireland for the past 5.5 years.
Okay.
So I came in as a general nurse, and then worked with a recruitment agency. They recruited me, and I worked for 2.5 years before I left school. I went to further my education in University College Dublin.
Okay.
So I did my pediatric training. And then I ended up working in the hospital, children's hospital.
Yeah.
So after that, I started looking for opportunities. And then I found my company advertised a position of a managerial position. So
Yeah.
I applied for it and I got it.
Yeah.
And so at the moment, I'm working as a clinical nurse manager for my company. So that's what I'll say.
So how many years do you work before you're able to get a position as a clinical nurse manager?
So I did my contract. Usually when you come in, you sign 2 years contract.
Yeah.
And so when I finished my contract, I stayed on to do 6 months more because I wanted to apply for my stamp 4. So after I applied, then I left. And I was also, at around that time, I had applied for the school. So I was waiting to get feedback as to whether I'm getting into the program or not. So that's what I did. So when finally I knew I was going to school, then I resigned from my company and I went to the school. It's just a 1 year.
Yeah.
So I studied for 1 year. I was doing my placement in the hospital and then I was studying in the university. So studying lecture. So just upon completion, I got a job in the hospital. I was working in the theater as an aesthetic nurse. But, well, after 1 month, I was asked to go on relief. So I happened to work in every part of the hospital, in every ward. And well, the stress and the pressure at the hospital.
Yeah.
I started looking at, okay, I've upgraded myself. Why don't I look for something more? But then I started fishing out and I found my company advertised.
Okay, Sister Catherine, I want to find out, I know it's going to be a lot of stress having to go to school, have a managerial post, combining that. What would you say? How were you able to navigate all of that?
Well, fortunately for me, when I finished with my contract with my company, the school is like a study leave.
Yeah.
So you are schooling and they're paying you. So that's why we were doing the placement in the hospital. So they blocked the lectures for us. We had 12 weeks lectures in the university. And then we were moved to the hospital to do the placement for 42 weeks. So like we were working at the same time schooling.
Okay.
Yeah. It was really, really stressful, but we managed it. At the end of the day. Yeah.
Catherine has an opportunity for us, when it comes to recruitment. She's now part of a recruitment team that actually brought her to Ireland. So she also wants to share that with our general nurses. I'm kind of jealous because I'm a psychiatric nurse and it's not for psychiatric nurses. So let's hear our sister.
Like I said initially, a company that brought me over 5 years ago, I went back to them in a managerial position. So what we do basically is we recruit international nurses, mainly registered general nurses.
Yeah.
So when they come in, we run a home care package for the HSC.
Yeah.
So what we do is once they come in, they do the RCSI exams, which is the licensure exams. So once you pass and then you get your PIN, we then take you through induction process, which is 3 weeks. So whatever skills you need for your work, in the home of the child, we are into pediatrics. So we do pediatric home care service. So whatever skills you need, we give that training. So before we put you in a house to work there, you have all the training skills or the requirements that you need before you go in there. So once we allocate you a client, you go to the house and then we schedule you and then you go on a shift. You work in the house of the client and then when you finish your shift, you just submit your timesheet and then you get paid.
Okay, so are you recruiting just pediatric nurses back home, or if you're a general nurse and then you have experience at the pediatric ward, you still qualify?
Oh yeah, so basically, because of our training, registered general nursing, we do a bit of everything back home. So once you're a registered general nurse back home, we are happy to work with you. We recruit you, but if you have the pediatrics as a specialist, it is an advantage. But registered general nursing is what we need. And like I said, when we bring you in, we give you the extra training that you need before you go and work with the children. So
Okay.
that's how we go.
Now we have
about
issues
it.
with red lists. We all know how difficult it is. What would you say about that in regards to your recruitment agency? Are you guys recruiting or only non-red listed countries, or they can also send you the hospital directly? What are we supposed to do?
Yeah, the red listing is still there. Every recruitment agency is different. We are still recruiting. Mainly at the moment, we are recruiting from India and Philippines, but
Okay.
we're also recruiting from some African countries.
Okay.
So yeah, we are still recruiting, and it's like a network. We have a recruiter who recruits for us, and then when they come in, we then take it from there. So it's not like we're recruiting direct, but we have a recruiter. Sometimes
Okay.
we recruit directly as well. It depends. It has its own different categories. So some African countries have laid a ban on the nurses as well in
Yeah.
terms of maybe verification and all
Yeah.
that. So we look at all those things, but we are still recruiting.
Okay. Okay. That's good news, guys. We have lots of nurses back home who are really interested in the self-sponsorship. They want to work the whole thing, pay for their own, the entire process.
Yeah.
And when they come in, then they get reimbursed. Like, is your agency ready to assist such candidates?
Yeah, so fortunately for me, when I got my decision letter and I started looking for a job and I found this agency, I did the interview and then they offered me the job. And they were like, okay, we're going to book your ticket, flight ticket. We're going to pay for your exams if you don't have money.
Yeah.
And then we even pay your license if you pass the exam. So they did everything for me. So I came in and then I wrote the exams. I did the registration.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, what happens is you have to they will spread the payment for you
Yeah.
to pay back.
Yeah.
So I brought money to pay for the exams, but because they offered to pay for me, I kept my money and then they paid, and then they spread it for 1 year, and within
Okay.
1 year I paid them off. Some of the recruitment agency will reinvest whatever you have spent.
Yes.
So it depends on which recruiter you are using. But yeah, now I think my company is doing half sponsorship.
Which is good news. It's still good news because even people are still willing to still come,
Yeah.
and then fund the whole thing themselves. Even
Yeah.
if they're not even going to be reimbursed, they are still willing. So it's very good. So I'm not going to ask the name of a company. I'm not going to do that because I know that a lot of people just go behind her trying to send emails or their CVs
Yeah.
directly to the company. I know how this works. So at least I believe that she has to benefit from this. So I'm just going to leave her email, under the description as well, okay, on the screen, so you can contact her directly. And then if I have some CVs with me, I also forward it to her so that you guys can also give it a try, okay? We should also understand that the supply is going to be higher than the demand. So she wouldn't be able to pick everyone, but I'm praying that more opportunities like this will be opened up for lots of overseas nurses back home, okay? So Auntie Catherine, any last words to our people, anything you want to tell nurses back home?
What I want to say is, if the opportunity comes, take it.
Yeah.
Because there's always a better place than wherever you find yourself.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, we are looking to better ourselves.
Okay.
I have not regretted coming to Ireland, for the period I've been here. Like, you enhance yourself, you upgrade yourself, and there are better opportunities compared to back home. We have to be realistic about it.
Yeah.
So go through the process. We all pass through the process,
Yes.
doing the exams and then coming in legally. Somebody will say the sky is the limit. Yeah. So that's what I would say. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much. I really
welcome.
appreciate you. So she's a Ghanaian and she's also a Ga, okay, from my tribe. So
Yeah.
I'm very proud of that. Okay, thank you guys so much. If you have any
welcome.
question for her, why not just drop it under this video as well. Remember to like and also share the video. Thank you all so much. Bye.
Thank you.